Hi, I'm Aaron Kraft with House and Order Property Management. We've put together these tenant FAQ videos to help you answer some questions very easily. After this quick introduction, I'm going to have a string of all of the other answers to common frequently asked questions that we have beyond this. So you could watch just this one video if you want to get through all of them. However, each individual question will have its own video down below if you'd like to just click on one question that you have. How do you submit an application to rent one of our properties at House and Order? Click on the Tenants button at the top of the page on our website, and below that, click on the Homes for Rent. When you click on Homes for Rent, it'll pull up every property that we have currently on the market. Next to each property on the right-hand side, there'll be a big blue button for scheduling a viewing, and beneath that is a link for submitting an application. And that'll take you to our full application process on our website, and you can do that on your computer or on your phone. It's very simple, and you can even pay for the application on that site as well. How much are the application fees? Currently, it is $80 to run the application, and that is to run your full credit, criminal, and background checks. A question we get often is, do I have to sign a lease? The answer is yes. You do have to sign a written lease that we will put in place. We use the standard North Carolina rental contract, so it's a standard state form that we use. But yes, you do have to sign a lease. We primarily look for 12-month lease agreements for our properties, but that can depend on the property and our owner and your situation as well. But usually we're looking for 12-month signed leases for the properties. Is it possible to rent a property you haven't yet viewed? The answer is yes, you can. We highly recommend you view the property before submitting an application, because we cannot refund your application fee if you look at the property later and decide it's not for you. So we highly recommend that you do look first, but yes, you can submit an application without viewing. We do understand that some people are out of town or even out of country and they need to find a home before they get here, and so that's why we allow that. It's perfectly fine. If you decide to lease the property before viewing it, we would ask you to sign another form that just discloses that you haven't viewed it yet, and we highly recommend that you do. It is not a reason to get out of the lease if you get there and it's not what you thought it was. So we highly recommend that you do view it first. But quick answer to the question is yes, you can submit an application without viewing it first. How can you schedule a visit for a property? Very simply, on our website, go to Tenants and Homes for Rent. Next to each property that is available is a big blue button that says Schedule Viewing. That process will take you through everything and show you the times that you can view it, and reach out to us as well. It will email us, text us, and we'll start communication that way and schedule the best time for you to be able to view that property. It's very simple, and it even uses some technology to remind you of those showings. So very simple process. Just be on our website on your phone or on your computer and go to Tenants and Homes for Rent, big blue button, schedule a viewing. What is the security deposit policy? For all of our properties, we are going to ask for at least 1 month's rent as security deposit. Depending on the property, sometimes we'll ask for 1.5 months, and then depending on credit score and other factors, it may end up being 2 months of security deposit. But typically 1 month security deposit is what we'll be asking for. That security deposit is not your last month's rent, nor your first month's rent. It is to be used for security reasons for damage to the property. So let's say you're moving in on a May 1st move-in date, and today would be April 10th. You would need to supply your security deposit now for the 1 month's rent for that property, and then your first month's rent would be due on May 1st when you actually moved in. When do you increase the rent? The rent can only be increased at the end of your leasing period. We don't increase rent after every leasing period, but we'll do an analysis after each one and decide with the owner what the new rent may need to be, and we'll make that proposal to you. The rent cannot be increased during your leased period, so no worries about that. and you will have the opportunity to discuss and decide during that lease renewal period if you agree with the new lease rate. What kind of situations are considered emergencies? Anything that threatens human life or causes major damage to the property would be considered an emergency. And in all emergencies, we highly recommend you call 911 immediately. If you call us about a fire at the house, there's not much we can do. So call 911 for any situation that would be considered an emergency. The biggest thing that we run into with tenants on emergencies is water. So water is a huge issue for property. So if you have a burst pipe, please find the water shutoff valve and turn that off immediately. But otherwise, that is considered an emergency. And yes, calling 911 for a large pipe burst is okay, because the fire department can come out and turn that off for you. So in any emergency that's a threat to human life or major property damage, please call 911 emergency, and then you can call us and we'll show up and help fix everything as best we can from that point on. Am I allowed to have a roommate? Most often, yes, but we do have to have those people go through an approval process. So we can't just allow you to have them move in. We do have to go through the full application process and add them to the lease. And we have forms that can help do this. So just reach out to us and your property manager, and we will help walk you through that process and get them approved. But you are not allowed to have a roommate if you do not have them approved yet. So please go through that proper process and communicate with us, and we'll help get that done. What is our pet policy? Each property can be a little bit different on our pet policy because we have different owners and different properties. So you need to contact your property manager or your lease to find out if your pet is approved. If you'd like to get a new pet, it can often be done, but you must contact your property manager and have that approved before moving forward with that new pet. We also have pet policies that will involve non-refundable pet deposits, pet fees, as well as a monthly fee for a lot of properties, usually $25 per month per pet. Can I change the locks? The answer there is no. You absolutely cannot change the locks, and this is for safety of the property and for your own security. If you have a security concern and you need the locks changed, you need to contact House and Order, and we will work to have those locks changed for you. But we do have to have access, the owner and the property management group have to have access to the property in case of emergency. And so we cannot allow tenants just to change the locks. But we do understand from time to time that you might need that to be done. Please contact us and we'll work with you to have that taken care of. Can managers and staff of House and Order enter my property when I am not there? The answer is yes, we can. For emergencies, emergency to a person or major damage to the property, we do have legal authority to go into the property and make sure everything is okay. Otherwise, we must give you notice before entering your property. We will not enter your property unless it's an emergency without giving you notice first. However, with 24 hours notice, we can make an appointment to come into the property, even if you're not there, to do routine maintenance or a repair that might need to be done. So if you have any questions about that, let your property manager know. But again, we will not just show up to your property. We will give you notice. We must give you notice of at least 24 hours or more unless it's a major emergency. Do I need renter's insurance? Yes, you do need renter's insurance. There's a lot of places you can get it. We have some great recommendations, but through our online portal process, we actually have renter's insurance available for you for a very easy and affordable price. You can just do it with one click and you can get renter's insurance through our portal system. But yes, you do need to have renter's insurance.